Hello. Welcome to the class of 2019 senior celebration. My name is Anthony McDonald and I'll be one of your hosts today. Today, we will be, I have Miss Ienia come up here to welcome you guys the proper way, I guess. Now can we have Miss Ienia come up here? Oh, sorry. Miss Ienia is our senior director of the community science. Sorry.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Taylor Community Science Resource Center, home of the Youth Exploring Science program. So happy that you could join us today. So before I begin my formal remarks, I need to take a moment to thank Christian Greer. Christian is our Chief Officer of Science, Education, and Experience, and he's my boss. Christian, I really want to thank you for giving me the latitude to lead an incredible program with an incredible team and truly incredible students. Your leadership really inspires us, Christian. Thank you so much. Now, students, parents, staff, and friends of the Youth Exploring Science program, today we celebrate over 20 years of graduating students who have successfully completed the YES program and their high school curriculum as well. Feel free to clap whenever. Now, the word graduation, you know, it's synonymous with joy, pride, and anticipation. And those three feelings are best seen in the faces of our parents here today, who have motivated and supported our graduates for 4 years. Yes, for 4 years, they have pushed their sons and daughters out of bed, into the shower, and sent them off to us with a hug and a smile. All of you parents have been the foundation of our success. So, I want all of you students to stand up and join me in giving these parents a round of applause for their support of you and the Youth Exploring Science program. Stand up, please. So, you know, participation in the YES program is a choice. So this speaks volumes about the character of our seniors. Because it would be very easy for them to just wash themselves out of the YES program so they could have more fun on the weekend or even make more money in the summer. But instead, these young men and women choose to work on their future by exposing their minds and their hearts to the wonders of science, technology, engineering, and math. I guess actually it's not the most lit activity for a teenager, right? You know, these students have learned together, they've planned together, they've taught together, they've schemed on their supervisors together, and they've laughed together. Carefully focused activities that allow them to experience STEM-related classes, field trips, and visiting professional, which has empowered them to see the possibilities for themselves. And that's for a world that relies more and more on STEM-related professionals to move our economy forward. Now, I must admit, watching them get to this point is a bittersweet experience for me. I have come to know them as individuals, and I know that I speak for my entire staff when I say that each and every one of you will be missed. However, even though their graduation gives us some degree of sadness, those feelings are actually overwhelmed by our anticipation of all that we know what you're going to be. Because in this room could easily be the mind that's going to cure AIDS. It's going to cure cancer. It's going to get us to Mars. It's going to engineer that electric car that battery charges in 15 minutes. Or just solve any of the many STEM-related challenges that we face and that we are confounded with. So, dear graduates, to achieve your highest potential, you need to hold firmly to the understanding that the STEM world is your world, and your genius and your contributions matter. So just remember these 3 very important directives as you move forward with your lives. 1, don't ever let yourself stop you from trying. Never let the self-doubt come in. Number 2, don't let anyone tell you that you cannot succeed. And number 3, don't you dare act like you don't know me when you see me on the street. So in closing, guys, yes, teens, when you leave these hallways today, you're no longer a yes teen. You're yes alums. So it's your turn to pay it forward. So please, come back and see us and inspire the yes teens that will be coming after you. We love you. We're going to miss you. And may God bless your future. Thank you.
Can we please give one more round of applause for Ms. Sainya? That was truly amazing. Thank you. Now we will have our reflective remarks by Mr. Christian Greer, who is the Chief Officer and Educator of the Science Center.
Well, hello, everyone. How's everybody doing today? Good. It's good to see you, and it's good to see this room filled. You know, as I was walking in, they said, hey, I want you to see our sound room. So I walk in there, I see all these computers set up and this time clock and all this technology that the teens are doing. Give them a round of applause for everything that they're doing out there. You know, so I have an interesting title as a Chief Officer for Science, Education, and Experience, but a lot of times it's just sort of signing the purchase orders to pay for all this stuff. It's not my money, I just sign off on it. But you don't get a chance to see everything that the team gets to do with it. And today you're seeing it in action. This is an event that's run by the teens, it's monitored by the teens, managed by the teens, and we're even going to have a keynote speaker that's a former Yes teen and Yes alum, and we're so happy to have them here. Now, I had some prepared remarks, but unfortunately, Sainya stole my speech. So when she sat down, I was like, give me my speech back. I want to be able to give a speech. So I'm going to change a few things up. But first, let me, again, as Sainya did, so there'll be a little repetition. You know, I really have to thank the parents. You don't always get a chance to thank your parents enough. And you know what? You're probably not done thanking them for all the things that you do. But I do feel that your performance and the fact that we have at least 98%, almost 100% of our graduates are going to college, and they are going to be majoring in STEM careers, that's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And as a former physics major, I'd be happy to help you with any of your homework if I can do it. Now you guys are learning stuff I didn't know. We were just learning about atoms when I was growing up. So I've had an opportunity to work at several museums over the years and science centers, and and on programs working with teens. And I will tell you, hands down, no offense to those other organizations, but I love the YES program. This program does something special with the youth, and you are the demonstration of that. And when you march out today, march into the rest of your life making the difference that you know you can make. Now, last year, we celebrated 20 years of the YES program. Now, that deserves a round of applause, right? 20 years. And in those 20 years, this program at the St. Louis Science Center has impacted an incredible amount of students and giving them a chance to be exposed to science, exposed to careers, and exposed to their own true capability. But it could not have been achieved without the partnership we have with the community partners. So if you are a community partner, can you please just stand up for a moment and be recognized? Thank you. Oh, what's up? Got Sid in the house. Good to see you, man. So finally, I'll just say, I'll give a quote from a scientist. I was reading recently, Einstein had written a quote that says that the whole of science is nothing more than the refinement of everyday thinking. The whole of science is nothing more than the refinement of everyday thinking. Now, I'm saying this to our graduates because when you get into statics and dynamics and relativistic theory, quantum, Atagio shaking his head, Calc 2, and differential equations, you'll need to realize that it's just more of a refinement of the thinking that you do every single day when you're exposed to science in your lives. So finally, I'd like to conclude with, a lot of people talk about grit, and I know these kids have grit to be able to get through school. And you'll also hear people say, don't be afraid to fail, right? That's kind of an important thing, not to be afraid to fail. But here in the YES program, I think we think about it a little differently. We know that there'll be failures. We know that there'll be hiccups and challenges. But if I can tell you one thing, don't be afraid to succeed. That's what you guys need to do to be the best that you can be and march into it. Thank you very much.
Can we get a warm applause again for Mr. Christian Greer? Okay. So now we will have our keynote speaker speak. He is a former YES alumni, and he's my youth pastor, Mr. Jerome Harris.
Can you do me a favor and give another round of applause for all of the staff, all of the supporters, all of the community partners? Come on, we can do a little bit better than that. I told them every time that I come here in this building, I get a little bit jealous because we didn't have all of the fine art stuff. We were in the warehouse, playing with plastic. And I get jealous every time I come in here because y'all have the state-of-the-art equipment, cameras, and it's amazing. So you are very lucky. I'm grateful to Miss Sainya, who's kind of been a huge supporter to me. It's been about 20 years since I've sat in your seat. God has blessed me to kind of come through this wonderful program. And you should be lucky that you are now crossing over into the alumni position as well. My task today is to give a talk that will result in motivation. And although some of you may be motivated by the time that I'm done, my goal is to not just motivate you, but my goal is to push you. Every playground fight that I had, it began with a push. Anybody had a fight before? And before you would go around in circles, just talking and, just talking. But the fight really don't start until somebody push you. Push me and you're going to catch these hands. And so any fight that you have, any fight that I had, any playground fight that I had, it began with the push. And you would dare someone, just push me. Motivation can start, it can be started, and it could be stopped. But a fight doesn't stop until whoever I'm fighting is done with, or whatever I'm fighting is done. And even when there's some sort of interference, whatever interfered with the fight, it just now became a part of the fight. You see, my fight started at 16 years old. And this was a critical point in my life because not only did I grow up without my father to teach me how to fight, around this time I was put out of my mother's house, and I felt like at that point that I was fighting alone. I'm grateful for the people that God has put in my life. People like my big brother. My mom put me, when I was a kid, in a program called Big Brothers Big Sisters. And my big brother, whom I lived with after my mom put me out, he thought it was a great idea that I become a part of this program called Yes. He thought it'd be a great idea that I become a Yes team. And at that time, I was not thinking of being, really a part of the program for real, and becoming a Yes team. The only thing that I was willing to do was say yes to a paycheck. Just keeping it real, facts. And so that was the only thing that I was concerned about is, okay, I'm getting paid, it's a summer job. That's the only thing that I was concerned about, although I left with so much more than just a paycheck. Yes taught me how to lead, and it was the birthplace of me believing in me. You see, I was self-conscious, very self-conscious person who believed that I was ugly and that I was stupid. And Yes gave me the confidence with our icebreaker practices to engage people, and from there to learn how to lead a classroom of elementary school kids in science projects. I've made great friendships in this program, and I've developed skills that I've used throughout my career. That now, from leading elementary school students, now I lead students for a career. Working with a program called Urban K Life and PGA Reach, Professional Golfers Association. So I get the opportunity to teach golf, teach life skills, and be a part of your academic progression. I see a lot of my students here today. And I've learned all of those skills and things of that nature in this program. As I stand here looking into this audience, I see me at 16, nervous and anxious about what is next. Like me at 16, you are in a very critical place in your life. Some of you know what's next. Some of you do not know what is next. But can I help you to understand something? Whatever is next, you're not just going to happen into it. You're not just going to stumble into what's next. It's not just going to be something that you just figured out. But anything worth having is worth fighting for. Anything worth starting or going through is worth fighting for. And I've learned that anything that I've had to endure, anything that I've started, anything that I really wanted, it came with a fight. And they asked this Pentecostal preacher to come and give you a motivational speech. And normally when we're in church, we like to talk. And so if you can indulge me just for a moment and nudge your neighbor a little bit, just give your neighbor a little nudge. Just nudge him. You ain't got to push him, just nudge him. and say, neighbor, you just been pushed. What you gonna do? Thank you.
So now we want to give Mr. Jerome Harris a gift from Yes staff. Thank you. There you go.
Thank you, man.
No problem. Okay, so now we're gonna have our special senior media production.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began.
You know we started.
Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
Tell you.
When I see you again.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling strong, and what's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken, the love will never get lost. And when brotherhood come first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn, and that line is what we reach, so remember me when I'm gone. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
Let the light guide your way. Yeah. Hold every memory as you go, and every road you take will always lead you home. Oh, it's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
We would like to thank our media lab for producing such a wonderful show for us. Now we will have Mr. Tim come up and present our Outstanding Yes Teen Attendance Awards.
So I worried about having to follow that because looking at where our teens are going and all the fields of STEM which they're going, all of our teens are graduating high school, they're going on to colleges and universities, Army, Navy, and that's just great. So let's give the seniors, again, one more round of applause for that. It takes a lot of time and effort to show up every day to school and to show up here on Saturdays. I know a lot of people in the room would rather be doing different things at 8 or 9 a.m. on a Saturday morning, usually involving sleeping. But you showed up, and we wanted to specifically recognize 3 of you. In the years you have been here, there's been 164 possible work days for these teens, and 3 of you we'd specifically like to recognize. This first teen was here 90% of the time, which means in 3 years, in 164 possible days, they've missed 17 days of work. So if I could have Khalil Khattab come on up. So he's going to be getting a tote bag full of some Science Center swag, a very nice water. It's nice. There's a gift card inside and a very nice Science Center water bottle. This next teen was here 151 total days for a 92% attendance. If I could have Joe Roby come on up. Let's hear it for Joe. Now, I'm not quite sure how this is possible, but I'm the person who keeps track of attendance here at the YES program. I think I've missed more than 8 days of work this year. This teen has missed 8 days of work in 3 years. So give it up for Mariah Butler. 95%. So again, thank you to all of our seniors, and for all the underclassmen watching, hopefully we'll see you up here next year with percentages just as high.
Thank you, Mr. Tim. Now we will have Malia come up and speak briefly about our late Yes teen, Antonio Stroud.
Hiya. So I'm gonna read a poem. Those special memories you always bring. A smile if only you could. If only I could have you back for just a little while. Then we could sit and talk again like we used to. You always meant very much to me, as we still will do too. The fact that you're no longer here, it will cause me pain, but you're forever in my heart until we meet again.
Okay, so now we're gonna be presenting our seniors, and Miss Mia is gonna come up here and present our seniors.
First row seniors, please stand. Cal Barnes. Bryce Bolden. Mariah Butler. Eliza Chisholm. Elijah Clemens. Michaela Cooper. Jayla Davis. Christina Eason. Mariah Favell. Kevin Green. Second row. Jocelyn Hinton. Araya Hughes. Caleb King. Khalil Katab. Maya McGregory. Alana McNeely. Tamaya Moody. Taj Muldrow. Heaven Newland. Taylor Page. Rukmina Paya Correll. Camille Ramey. Cyrus Riddle. Raymond Riddle for Cyrus Riddle. This is Raymond Riddle accepting this for his son Cyrus Riddle. Joseph Roby. Mackenzie Roy. Kadar Rudd. Malia Safford Dickens. Come on. Stay up. Come on. Come on. Stay up. Vishnu Siva Prasad. Lily Spencer.
What's your first name?
We have Paris Spencer for Lily Spencer.
Just real quick, Lily is really sorry that she couldn't make it today, and she loved this program, and she will definitely come back to visit.
Grace Sprivey. Zoe Staten. Celia Tucker. Paul Vance. Zoe Webster. Justin White. Madison Williams. And lastly, Anaz Winfield.
Can we clap for our seniors? Y'all can do better than that. Yeah.